Hi, and welcome to Daisy Creations Designs. I'm your host, Grace May. Today is April 2nd, 2015, and this is episode 14, Happy Easter. Well, I'm so glad that you guys decided to join me today. I thank you all, if you're a new viewer, for joining me, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. I know it's been a while since I podcasted, but life has been getting busier, and I have decided that I will only podcast twice a month, preferably the second and fourth week. We will see how that schedule goes. I'm not quite sure, but I do enjoy talking to you and spending some time with you. So let's jump right in. I've been obviously doing a lot of knitting lately, so I'm excited to share with you what I have done. First, I want to show you one of the things I'm working on, which I need to get it done soon, is the Yoked Cardie by Hannah Fedek, and I'm doing it for a friend's daughter who just turned 4. And it looks like this. I'm knitting this on US size 10 needles. You can see, there it goes. It goes like, this is the back, this is the front. The color's really true. It's like a hot pink. I'm knitting it out of Red Heart Super Saver yarn. I think the colorway is Rose, or Bright Rose, or something like that. But it's a really well-written pattern. I highly recommend it, and I'm hoping to get this done soon so I can get it sent off to her. The second thing I've been working on is the Wedding Cake Cowl. It is a paid-for pattern, and I saw this at my local yarn shop, and I've been looking at this for months now, and I finally decided to break down by the pattern. Trying to see how this will show up. There it goes. But this is the Wedding Cake Cowl, and it's a really squishy design. Like, I'm really loving this. I can't wait to actually get the cowl made. This one's actually not going to be mine, though. I am going to gift it. Not exactly sure who I'm gifting it to yet, but there we go. And this is just out of some Bernat acrylic sport that you can get at like Walmart or any of the major craft stores. Nothing fancy. Let's see what's next. Oh, my mom wanted a scarf, and so I let her pick out the yarn and the pattern. And this yarn is, let me see if I have the tag. I don't know where the tag is. I'm sorry. But I think it's called Finley. It's a 798 yards of lace weight. And you can just see I only have like barely any of it done. It's going to be a scarf. I'm knitting it on a size 4 needle. And it's out of the book A Hand Knit Romance. And it looks like, let's see if I can find it now. Don't you just hate that? When you want to find something, you can't. And when you don't want to find it, you find it right away. There it is. It's called the Lace Scarf. It was based on something found in like the 1940s. And this is what it looks like on. I just love that design, so I'm going to make it for my mom. I'm probably going to make it longer than the pattern calls for, but that's what I'm doing out of this lace weight yarn. And I'm keeping this in the horse bag. This is actually my mom's project bag, but I kind of borrowed it from her, and since this is going to be hers, I didn't think she would mind. And I'm knitting these on my Knit Picks interchangeables. The last thing I actually have 3 more things to show you. See, I've told you, I've been very busy the past couple weeks. This is a shrug. This is called the Rouge Retro. I'm knitting it out of Oasis colorway in 100% cotton on a size 10.5 needle, and this is going to be a shrug. And you can see this is the collar, and it kind of goes like this. And right now I'm working on the sleeve. So you kind of like, it's a free pattern, so you cast on more stitches for the sleeve. You work it till it can go around, you seam it, and somehow then separate the back piece and knit the back piece down. But yes, I'm really liking how this is turning out. And my second thing is a new sweater for me. My local yarn store is moving, or it has moved, and they were having 40% off all their yarn for their sale. So I went and I bought this yarn, which is Ella Rae Lace Merino in the fingering, and I'm not quite sure what color this is, but it's like a pastel purple. That's actually pretty true. And I just love the squishiness of it and the stretchy. It has really nice spring to it. And I am knitting the pattern Ecuador by Joji Locatelli, I think is how you pronounce it. And it's this pattern here. There's some glare. There it goes. And this is what the back of it looks like. So I'm knitting this on a US size 6 needle, which is a 40 millimeter. And I'm actually in the middle of the row. I'm sorry, but here is my cardie. And how you do it is a paper pattern, but you start with this back piece and then you attach and work the front and then the side. Attach it to the back, work the side, and then the other front. And I'm just loving the stitch definition. There it is. So that's working up pretty quickly. I'm really surprised at how quick that goes. And my last thing that I just recently cast on my needles is a prayer shawl. I am in the Sisters in Christ Knitting and Crochet group over on Ravelry, and they're having their spring informal prayer shawl swap. Well, my mom and I got partnered up at kind of our request. We wanted to do it together, and so I'm knitting a shawl for her and she's knitting one for me. Well, I couldn't find a pattern I liked, so I decided to design one. Now, Mom, if you're watching, please turn away for a few minutes, because I want this to be a surprise. I just don't want you to see it. But I started to design this shawl, and this is what it looks like so far. It is already 24 inches across this top edge and about 9 inches from the center back. And you can kind of see the stitch pattern. Excuse the blue line. The blue is actually, I put a lifeline in, so I knew since I'm designing, I never know when I want to rip out if I don't like something. So, you can see I just started a new lace stitch pattern. And I am going to use 2 more colors. I know how the border I want to do for the border. I'm just not sure exactly when I want to switch colors. I'm using Socks That Rock in medium weight. And we have, I know this colorway is Llama. It is Socks That Rock, medium weight, hand-dyed fiber, 100% superwash merino. There's 380 yards, 347 meters. It's Socks That Rock Blue Moon Fiber Arts. And I'm in love with this yarn. I would so love to get some more. And I'm using, I don't know what the other 2 colorways names are, but I'm also going to use this color, this purple, and then I'm also going to use this variegated. And from how the shawl's knitting up, it's on a size 8 50 millimeter needle. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to get 2 shawls out of all 3 skeins, plus maybe a pair of mitts. We will see. I'm getting ready to switch colors on this. So it would probably be, if I make another shawl out of this same yarn, I would reverse colors. So like, instead of doing this for the body, I may do this for like the border and do the other 2 like opposite. So we will see. I'm really enjoying this shawl. I started it last night. Yeah, last night. And I'm really excited. This is actually one of my first shawl designs that I'm pretty happy with. Like, I'm not usually happy with what I knit or design. So this will be, I am writing this up as I go, because I've had a couple requests from some friends I've sent pictures to that they said, oh, I want that pattern. So it will be up for testing when I'm finished. But I think that's all I have for works in progress. I only have one finished object, and that is my Love and Laughter cowl by the talented Sarah Franklin, which is Apple Blossom SF on Ravelry. This is a free pattern now. So I'm just loving wearing this. It's so nice and warm. I usually wear it double. You can wear it triple probably, even if you want. but that I find is a little too tight for me. So I usually just wear it like this. Anyways, I did get some stash enhancement. I'm not going to show you everything, but I am going to show you this one yarn, which I am totally in love with. It is called Knit 1 Crochet 2 Covet. It's 100% super baby alpaca. It is approximately 164 yards or 150 meters, 50 grams. Works up on a size 3 needle. It's hand wash and cold water dry flat, but it is so soft. It's like a baby blue. There you go. And it is so soft. I totally love it. I got 2 skeins of it. I was planning on making a wedding cake cowl because that's what the sample in her shop was, but I'm not too sure yet. I did just recently buy a pattern for the Church Mouse Classics welted fingerless gloves. So I'm thinking of making them with this yarn, but then again, I don't know. Maybe I'll make some mitts to match Mom's shawl. Who knows? But that is all for my works in progress, all for my stash enhancement. I'd like to say there's really not a cowl going on in the Rav group, but if you want to join chatter or just comment or interact with me, I'd be happy for you to check me out. I'm Daisy Creations on Ravelry and Daisy Creations Designs on Instagram. And also, my group is Daisy Creations Designs on Ravelry. I do plan to do a knit along for the month of June. The month of June is my birthday month. And so I think what we will do is June, any socks, can be works in progress, can be cast on new. Every pair of socks you finish will be an entry into a giveaway. I'm not quite sure exactly what the giveaway is going to be yet. I have some prizes in the prize pool that were donated, so we might do one of them and maybe do a pattern of the winner's choice, $5 or under. Depends on how many people we get. I'd like to say I'll do 2 prizes if we get at least 10 to 12 people joining. Also, if you want to, you can still join in on the Melski Knits, not giveaway, knit along over in the All-in-One podcast by Jordan Dunaway. She's a really good friend of mine, and I love Mel's patterns as well, like she said in her last episode. So I might try to join in. We'll see. I have a lot on the needles right now, so. But without that said, I think that's all for my works in progress, finished objects, chatter. So now I'd like to do a book review. I have 2 book reviews, or 2 books to review, but I'm only going to do one because this podcast is already getting to be about 20 minutes, and I want to try to keep it not too long for you guys, but it might be a little longer than my usual ones since I'm only going to podcast twice a month. So the book I'd like to review today, I was sent to review kindly by Six and Springs Books, and it is the Knitting Fresh Brioche, Creating 2-Color Twists and Turns, 75 Unique Stitches, 12 Stunning Wraps and Scarves by the one and only talented Nancy Marchand. Yes, I was sent this book to review, but this book, I only review things I will personally use. And brioche knitting has been one of my favorite kind of knitting since I started it. I took Nancy's class on Craftsy called, I think it was Explorations in Brioche Knitting. She has a new one, new class out that I haven't got yet to buy on Craftsy, but I hope to. But in here, it just explains how to do the stitches, how to do the salvage edge. It has so many different stitch patterns that you can do. Like, this is one of my favorite, the leafy lace. And then there's cables, wide flat cables, small cables. There's braided columns, wavy treads. This one is a really cool one, which I want to try. And then also in here, it has patterns. And one of the patterns that I've been wanting to do in here, which I have the yarn and needles, just haven't cast it on, is called Sister Janie. And it's a 2-color brioche knitted scarf. And what I like about it is it uses a variegated and a solid. So, like, you know, you have all these variegated skeins of yarn and they just don't look right in socks, or you've tried. Well, this might be the answer. I am in love with the scarf. So I want to make that. Also, the other one I like in here, I like a lot of them that's in here, but Bart and Francis is another scarf that's really, really pretty. But I highly recommend getting this book. It retails for $24.95 US, but you can also find it on Amazon, I think. Amazon Prime has it, or your local knitting store would have it. Ooh, Crossing Arms. I don't know why I didn't see this one before. Kind of looks like a braid. But I hope everyone has a happy Easter. I've titled this episode Happy Easter. It'll probably be, by the time you watch this, it may be Easter. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to try to upload it tonight, but we will see. Anyways, it's for the Easter weekend. You can enjoy sitting back, knitting, and watching this podcast. VKNs. I do want to do a VKN. I'm thinking probably a Friday night would probably work for most of you. Or I was thinking Saturday afternoon. A Saturday afternoon. This week is pretty much packed. Next week, I may schedule one. I know I've been promising you guys a VKN. I will get down and schedule some dates. Just keep an eye out on the Ravelry thread group. And I think that's it. Other thing I was going to say is I am knitting along in another knit along. It's in the Round the Twist by Karen group. She's doing the Redemption knit along, spin along, crochet along, whereas it's something you wanted to do, but then you think, oh, I could do that so much better now, or oh, I frogged it because it made a mistake. Well, I have a sweater that I'm going to pick back up for that. And also, there's a sock pattern that I've been wanting to do. I've tried to do it and then ripped it out because I wasn't very experienced in sock knitting at the time. But that is the Breaking Hearts pattern by Christy Brockway. And I want to start them. I'm going to cast them on as soon as I finish a plain pair of vanilla I have going. Yes. And then the other thing I want to do for the Redemption Knit Along is redo my green socks that you saw I was designing. I was just about ready to get to the heel, and I decided to rip them out because I didn't like how slow I was knitting them because I went down to a size 0. I've gone back up to a size 1 for my socks, and that seems to be the perfect size for me. I do need to get some more size 1 needles. I have 2 right now because I just bought 2 because I was doing 1.5s. I started out with 2s, then I went to 1.5s, then I went down to 0s, and then I'm going back to 1s. So I need to get some size 1 needles. So I need to pick them up next time I go to the yarn store. But I think that's it. We're going on 27 minutes. So thank you for joining me, and I will see you again in 2 weeks. So probably like the end of April, somewhere around there. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for coming back, all my faithful viewers. Thank you if you're new, and please like, subscribe, and share if you want, and please interact with me over on Ravelry boards, on Instagram. You can send me an email, daisycreationsdesigns@gmail.com. I'd like to talk with you, interact, even when I don't podcast. And I will see you all again next time. So if you celebrate Easter, Passover, whatever, have a great holiday, and we will see you again, and keep knitting. Bye for now.